Hi guys, today I wanted to talk for a few minutes about linear power supplies. Recently I got very cheaply a BRZHiFi linear power supply from AliExpress. I actually got three of them, two for 12 volts, the third one for 24 volts, and another one by another brand with R-type transformer. What these do? These are providing a very clean power supply to your electronic devices, and by very clean I mean very low ripple. The theory says that DC power supply should provide ruler flat voltage, but the reality is that this ruler flat voltage is not exactly ruler flat. It's rippling a bit to the top, a bit to the bottom, and the difference between the highest and the lowest position is called ripple, and this is one of the technical parameters for basically all power supplies. So the linear power supplies are supposed to be linear, and I've checked this one, and I will share the result a little bit later, but let's start with build and finish. The casing is aluminum. It's very well made. It's very solid, which is important because the power cable like that could lift up the smaller or lighter power supply. We have a nice LED display here which shows current voltage. The power supply is not connected to anything, so there is no load, and that's why the voltage is 12.1 volt, which is completely normal. When it will be loaded, the voltage will drop a little. Nevertheless, we have, let's disconnect this one. We have small voltage adjustment pot, so we may fine-tune the voltage to our liking. We have two DC outputs, so we can connect two devices, maybe even more if we'll use some kind of splitters. And we have a power switch and a power plug. This one was produced for 220 volts, and as you can see, it's 12 volts DC output. What's also important is that these are small power supplies, so they are not very powerful. This one has 25 watts of output power in total, so you can use it to power, for example, your digital to analog converter, some kind of headphone amplifier, maybe even some small speaker amplifier, with emphasis on the word small, because it will be at most 25 volts. So, as I said, I have two of them. Here's the second one, so we may take a look inside. You can order them in two flavors. The cheaper one is using BRZHi sealed transformer. The more expensive one is using Talema sealed transformer. I've ordered the cheaper version because I don't really believe that the brand of the sealed transformer makes a big difference in this case. The BRZHi transformers are good enough, in my opinion, and I've also measured ripple from the output, and it's fine. But we'll get to that. What can we see inside this unit? Okay, so the biggest one is obviously the transformer. We have some capacitors, electrolytic capacitors. I don't know if you can see that, but these are Nichicon capacitors, so quite good. We have our typical Zener bridge here for the first stage of transforming the AC to DC. We have a fuse here, which is a very interesting and a good solution because this fuse will protect our device from overloads. I won't even get into the subject of changing fuses in this kind of power supplies because I haven't had any difference in power supplies here. What else do we have here? We have op-amp, we have IRF 9Z33, which uses a casing as a heatsink. As you can see, it's screwed to the case underneath the PC board, and it's using some kind of thermal paste, which is basically a very good idea to spread the heat in the casing. And that's it. It's pretty simple inside, and it's effective. It just works. So, getting back to the subject, the ripple on this one. I recently bought a small and cheap kit to make an oscilloscope. It was more for fun. I like soldering, and it was a good idea and a lot of fun to make my own one, not to buy something ready-made, but just to solder from scratch. Anyway, it's not laboratory level precise unit, but it still is good enough to measure the ripple coming out of this and other linear power supplies that I bought. So let's connect this one because it looks nice with this display. And you can actually, this may be a funny thing to see. I've just switched it off. You'll see that the voltage will drop over the time, and the display will show us this voltage dropping. Yeah, it started. It's unloaded, so it will take a while, but you can actually see that the measurement inside works. So now for the funny part. For the first time in my video, here comes non-linear video montage with picture-in-picture. So here it goes. Picture-in-picture. This is the photo of my oscilloscope with measurement of the ripple from this linear power supply. As you can see, the ripple is lower than 10 millivolts. Which is actually very nice, because here we have a very good and very recommended Meanwell power supply for 7.5 volts DC output. And this power supply has a ripple in range up to 80 millivolts. So 8 times bigger ripple. And Meanwell power supplies are very good and are very highly recommended because of the low ripple and good quality. So 80 millivolts ripple for this one, 10 millivolts ripple for this one, and for your typical cheap wall plug, which I had lying somewhere around, I can't see it right now. Anyway, it's a wall wart with 12 volts DC power output. It was made by Huawei, so it's also quite nice. But the power ripple on this wart, I can see it. I found it. Here it is. The ripple here is around 200 millivolts, so 0.2 volt, which is good for a wart, for this integrated impulse power supply. But this is a kind of performance that you're getting when you're powering your devices with the power supplies that are included in the box. So if you can, upgrade to Meanwell. If you cannot, or if you have some more money to spare, upgrade to this BRZHiFi power supply. It's a really good and really well made power supply. And now the most difficult and the most interesting part, I think. What does it do to your electronic devices? What does it do? What does it change in your digital to analog converters or in your headphone amplifiers? Basically, linear power supplies are giving you a very clear, very clean black background. All of the small details of your sound, of your music, will be easy to spot and will pop out. The highs will be clearer and more transparent. So this is something that you'll hear the moment you'll plug the linear power supply to your amplifier, to your headphone amplifier, or to your DAC. The theory says that the internal circuit in DAC or headphone amplifier should take care about all of imperfections and impurities of incoming DC power supply voltage, but the reality says it's not. The power supplies in DACs, in headphone amplifiers, in amplifiers, basically in all electronic devices, are made up to the price point, and they are made to be good enough. Not the best, just good enough for the job. So if you want to upgrade your sound, if you want to upgrade your digital to analog converter, as long as it's using external DC power input, or your headphone amplifier, this is the single easiest and cheapest way. Just to buy linear power supply and connect it with your device using that kind of cable. It's a barrel cable, 5.5 millimeters outside, 2.1 I think on the inside, but it's very easy to replace them with any other size and type of plug in case if your device is using something else. So, highly recommended. I have 3 of them. I'm using them. I'm using them for my DAC. I'm using them for my computer because I've recorded, you may have seen that, I've recorded a video on my PC that I'm using for playing my music. It's not a regular big case PC, it's a very small HD PC with completely passive build without any kind of moving mechanical parts. And what's very interesting, what I've noticed and what was shocking to me, was the difference that this kind of linear power supply made for my music that I've played through full bar with my PC. I've connected this to the PC just as a fun exercise. I wasn't expecting any changes, but since I have 2 power outputs and I was using only one for the DAC I was testing, I've chose to try and use the other one for the PC, and I've immediately heard the sound quality increase. So that's something very interesting, and that's something that I'll investigate in another video, because I have to think about some proper testing method in order to be able to describe the changes. So, the price. The price was about 50, 60, a bit more than $60, something like that. You can buy it cheaper or more expensive depending on the time of the year. You can use different sale type coupons, winter sale, summer sale. It's always sale on AliExpress. I got mine on 11th of November on a Singles Day. And yes, it's been a while. It took me a while to find some time to record these videos. So, enjoy my other videos. Buy linear power supply like this one, or more expensive if you can afford that, because it's the single easiest upgrade to your headphone amplifiers or DAC converters. Have a nice day and see you next time.